Welcome to the Dressing Gown CEO podcast, where we deep dive into business, life, and the unexpected challenges that shape us. I'm Emily Chardiello, your host, and in this episode, we sit down with Evan Stowers, a stylist, a salon owner, musician, husband and father, and Foil Me's ambassador for USA. He shares his journey through burnout, fatherhood, vulnerability, and ultimately self-discovery. From navigating the pressures of work and home life to confronting past trauma and finding strength in healing, Evan opens up like never before. So this is a trigger warning. This episode contains discussions about mental health, substance abuse, and childhood trauma. If you need support, please reach out to someone you trust. This is an emotional, raw, and deeply inspiring conversation. So let's get into it. Comfortable, not that there'll be hundreds of listeners, but anyway.
Doing great. Doing great. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Dressing
Okay,
Gown
so we'll get started.
CEO.
Welcome to the Dressing Gown CEO. I am your host, Emily Chardiello. The Dressing Gown CEO is all about being real, raw, and authentic. You can come as a guest, dressed how you like. So Evan's in his hoodie and beanie. Welcome, Evan. And
Hey.
I'm in my muscle top. So it's all about being comfortable and getting real, raw, and authentic. So Evan Stowers, introduce yourself,
Yeah.
please. You're
Hey,
amazing,
perfect.
amazing man.
Thank you. So my name is Evan. I am from Southern Utah, so St. George, Utah, which is in the US. And I have 5 children, 2 boys and 3 girls. And I have 3 dogs, 2 mastiffs and 1 golden doodle. And then 2 salons, 17 chairs, and I think 27 stylists.
Oh, that's amazing. When did you start, Evan, running your own salon and having I guess you can say your own business rather than working for someone else?
Right. Uh so I started in a studio which was working for myself in 2015. And I opened a salon in 2017. So it'll be 8 years this year. Not until I think August or something. It'll be 8 years. So yeah.
Okay, so you've got 27 stylists, right?
Yeah.
You would have to be a leader to have that many stylists, running your business with you. How do you do it? Like what are, I guess, maybe 3 tips, strategies on how you can run a salon with 27 stylists?
Oh man, strategies. Okay, that's gonna be tough. I'm not a strategy person, so um
You just wing it.
it started, yeah, it started with one. So
Yeah, yeah.
started with one in our studio, and she's actually been working with me this entire time. And and then what I've been able to do is I don't know what a strategy would be, but I've been blessed to find people who I feel have the ability and the potential to grow and have the I don't want to say moldability because I'm not trying to necessarily mold them, but to have that mutual respect and growth. So we started with one as an assistant, and then I gave her 1 day of
But
working
Evan,
behind the
I
chair.
think you're selling yourself short there. You're not blessed to find, you know, that quality of person to stay with you for how long?
Yeah,
8 years now? Your
yeah, almost eight
first one?
years. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's got to be something that you're doing, the way that you lead, that is
yeah.
keeping one, your stylist that's been with you for that long, but also to have that many stylists as well. Like, do you have a high turnover rate, or are they all like there for 3, 4 years, 5 years? Like,
Yeah.
I
So
think you're
yes and
selling yourself
no.
short.
Well, I've never thought about this question about what my
Yeah. Yeah, well,
strategy
that's
was.
what I do.
So I don't know how to truthfully answer what my strategy has been, but I think that I try to recognize talent. We've refined our process as we've moved on with the years. So I do a working interview in the beginning. So I bring them in, I don't do a traditional interview. I kind of see where they come from, I'm gauging their personality, and then we have them come in on a separate day and shadow for at least an hour, so then I get to feel more of their personality,
Yeah.
and then I have them come in and do an audition, where I see their technical skill level. It's typically some type of a highlight because that's where I live. And then I can assess what type of skills that they have. It's not supposed to be intimidating, it's so that I can train them.
Yep.
And then I talk about their needs and their wants, and then I offer them to come on. And for us, originally we wanted part-time 3 days or more and full-time 5 to 6 days, but I've had to adjust that, which is why we have so many stylists. I've looked at their capabilities. And so some people I've started at 1 day and they've grown to full time. And some
Okay.
people have started at 1 day and they've sat at 1 day. So that's why we have so many stylists. They each share a chair. They're very respectful of one another. And so on average, like yes, we've had people be there 3 to 5 to 8 years. But because we are a bigger salon now, we also have had that turnover because in the beginning when we expanded so quickly, there were some growing pains of um, where I wasn't super defined on what I wanted. I like to be relaxed. I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And so
Yeah.
there was some, and not to anybody's detriment, there were some moments where I thought, hey, I don't really like what's happening here. And some people we haven't kept in touch as much, but others who have left and gone to studios or other things, we've been able to keep in touch, and we've been able to hold those expectations and love for each other. So I think I just have had a gift of being able to pick most. I don't want to say mostly great people because every single person has had a place in our space,
Yep.
but then be able to retain people
Mm.
um, and just like I want them to thrive. So
Yeah.
there's that ability to nurture them and want them to thrive. Yeah,
Yeah. People who are most aligned to you and your values. That's,
yeah.
it sounds like as well you have like a three-step process for your interview. So it's not like you're doing the one interview and then that's it. I mean, I'm not in the hairdressing salon, I'm in the hairdressing industry, but I don't know. Is that what most salon owners do? That they do this three-step process, or do they just interview and then they're like, okay, you're great, off you go?
In my experience, yes and no. I've worked in a lot of salons. Everyone's a little different. I think that my process is a little more drawn out, I would say, to be
Yeah.
honest. And so it can make it there's some people where they won't even come in for the initial interview because once I say we're gonna do a kind of a casual interview, then I'm gonna have you do a shadow, then I'm gonna have you do a audition, I lose them right there.
Yeah.
They don't that's too much work for them. But
Yeah.
other people, um, the way that I frame it and authentically the way that I'm trying to frame it is,
Mhm.
this is for you to come in and experience what it's like to be in our space.
Mm.
Because, for me, because I've worked in so many spaces, I don't wanna go into a space and do an do an Instagram post and be so excited and then feel after a week working there like, "I don't wanna be here. Now I'm
Mm.
stuck in this space that I don't wanna be in."
Yeah.
But then there's that pride of, now I'm just gonna stick it out because the ego says that I should be here because but so I kind of will tell them this is for them. And
Yeah.
I've only had and it's actually interesting, I had one person who worked in the space who said, I'm so sorry, but this isn't gonna work for me." And then actually came back to our space a few months later.
Yeah. Right.
Um, but sometimes, I'll have people where we will get to the place of just the working interview, and then it will kind of be like, "This isn't gonna work for me," if that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
it's just trying to, like, speak to them as well,
Mm.
and
I
and,
love
uh,
that
and being able to recognize that this is as much of a, um
journey.
yeah, and throwing themselves out there as much as I'm like, vulnerability of me to bring you into my space.
Yeah.
They're being vulnerable coming into my space.
Yeah.
And then I actually talk to all the stylists that they work with and get a real
Okay.
opinion of how they feel in the space as well. Because there might be things that my stylists feel, or pick up on that I'm not seeing, the way that they
Yeah.
interact with them, that they might be interacting with me as an owner.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's very much, their input matters to me as well. And we've had instances where, and not out of, animosity, but just
Mm.
out of a, "Hey, this is just not going to, flow with us," where I've had to say, "I'm so sorry, but, we're not able to bring you on,"
Mm.
because of just how they click in the salon. Because,
Mm.
um, these people work as much as I work, and
Mhm.
it's not to, push people out of our space, but, it's also to say, we want our space to flow, and the majority of people have stayed with us on a very long time, and we have people that have moved and they still come from out of town and rent as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's worked, but every once in a while, it hasn't clicked,
Yeah.
and I've been able to process, um, a little bit why that's not worked, and it's refined my way of how I do things.
Yeah. No, well, thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that process with us, Evan. I'm sure, a lot of hairdressers listening are going to find that quite valuable.
Yeah, thank you.
It's similar to what we do when we bring on someone here at Foil Me. We actually do a pre-interview over the phone first and ask them all the really non-negotiable questions because we feel that it'd be a waste of their time and our time if they come in and we ask them those non-negotiable questions and it doesn't align with us. So we
Yeah.
figure we'll just do it over the phone first now.
Yeah, and I will add, you actually made me think of this. I have a list of, common questions. So when they first reach out,
Hmm.
I send them a list of, "This is what it is to rent, this is what it is, these are the expectations as well."
Yeah.
So that is a little bit of a pre-screening,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I've had people just off that list say, "Oh, this isn't for me, thank you."
Yeah.
And
This
then
doesn't
we
fit.
have them go through
Yeah.
the process. So it's a little arduous, and, I've heard it has felt intimidating to people, but it's really so that they feel at home once they
Yeah. Fire fast and then hire slow because you don't want to rush into anything. And yeah, it sounds like you got a four-step process there then. And it's really
Yeah.
important to lay out those expectations as well. Yeah. But this was one of the questions really that wasn't on the list for you, Evan. So you handled that
Mm.
really well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But we're getting to a little bit more personal now. So you're a father
Mhm.
of five. Um, what's your secret to navigating the chaos of a big family while also ensuring you can run your business and be a great hubby to your wife?
Yeah, so I would say, you've caught me in a bit of like a transition right now, like in a transformation. So
Yeah.
I would say if you asked me this question a long time ago, and when I working behind the chair, when mentioned I have 5 kids is a lot of kids, but we
Mm.
we both come from big families. I'm one of 6. My wife is the oldest of 8. I
Wow.
would say, yeah. So I would say the secret is my wife, um, who really has been a very, amazing mother and nurturer in our whole marriage and also our relationship, and I would
Mm.
probably have left it at that, but if I'm being honest, it's because I, had a bit of an imbalance over the last few years, and now I'm trying to find, more of that balance, and so I would say as I'm new in that journey with,
Mm.
trying to show up more as a father, um, I would say that it's hugely communicating with my wife on what her needs are and learning. I'm a maximizer. Uh, if you were to see me in the salon, I sit in moments, but a lot of the times I'm always looking for things to do. But for some reason, when I got home, if I'm being vulnerable, I wasn't as great at that. Like I would, feel burnt out. I would feel, um, overwhelmed. I've been working from a young age, so I didn't really know how to, show up the best way. So
Mm.
now it's really, leaning into my wife and asking, the
What
things
she
that she really
needs.
needs. Yeah.
Mm. I love
Yeah,
that.
what she needs, and then doing that for her.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you were finding that, you were leaning in too much to work and putting all your energy into work. And so then when you got home, you were exhausted and all your energy was pretty much sapped. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's a difficult
you know
one. It's a difficult one because you've got clients as well as your staff. And, as a leader, as a boss, you have to have a certain energy and persona with your stuff. Otherwise, they unfortunately they will start imitating you. They'll start being a little bit down, or they'll start being a little bit angry if you're those things. So yeah, it's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I didn't maintain proper boundaries in the beginning, which
Mm,
meaning that, when I was done with work, uh, I would linger. I felt like my purpose was, really just the camaraderie of the staff,
yeah.
and I've learned that that is still so vital and important, but
Mm,
I am finding moments to do that when I'm there and when
hmm.
I'm if that makes within the
Yeah.
hours of being there.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and and it's actually been really cool, like, in the last few months, I've had to voice that I've needed like, when it's time to go home, I have to go home. And it's hard to say staff, but my stylists have really stepped up and, respected that. Not to say that they can't text me when I'm home, but I would find my I because I didn't really know how to show up at home, I felt like my purpose was building up the stylist, mentoring them, and that my purpose at home was contributing through a paycheck, if I'm being honest. And I didn't know how, because I worked the majority of my life, I didn't know what to do when I
At,
was home.
at what age did you start working, Evan?
About 11 or 12, and I'm
Wow.
39.
What were you doing as an 11-year and 12-year-old?
My dad is a plumbing contractor, so he's an entrepreneur. So I
Ah,
was digging
love
ditches.
that.
Yeah,
Digging ditches. Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
so my dad would bring me to work every summer and, all through high school, and then as a junior in high school, I did work release. So I would leave after, I don't know, 1 or 2 periods in the day and go and work for my dad, and my dad is a wonderful man, so this isn't to anything from him at all. He taught me how to work hard, so we
Yeah.
didn't have regular work hours. When it got dark, we took out work lights and kept working.
Yeah,
We didn't
right.
stop at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it wasn't a 9 to 5, it was a when people need you.
It was when the job was done, and he was
Yeah.
a tremendous worker. He provided, immensely for our family, and he was there for us in many ways, but, without, because of some of our family, we had some health issues, so he was trying to um, do his part by covering medical expenses and really stepping up financially and he would show up like I had a band, he would come see our band play. He would counsel with us on the weekends, but that sometimes life circumstances
Mm,
dictate things, different roles
mm,
for your parents, and I took on that role, and my wife, her father worked a traditional 9 to 5, so he was there a little bit more.
mhm.
And so, not to the detriment of my parents, because I love them with my whole heart, but
Yeah, of course.
I didn't. There was a bit of awkwardness being home
Yeah,
and not knowing what to do, if
yeah,
I'm being honest.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Because you started work so early, you were sort
yeah,
of, I guess, thrown into adulthood early as well, because along with work comes maturity, doesn't it? You can't have a tantrum while you're at the workplace. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
something has happened or whatever, you've got to suck it up and, yeah, be an adult. But really, you're
yeah,
11 or 12 years old. So, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And my dad started working when he was that age.
yeah.
His father was a plumber as well.
Okay.
And so I think I'm the oldest son. I think he taught me so much. I still had tantrums, but But
I bet you did.
he taught me hard work, and I love him for that, and I admire him for that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I played through music, but I that was my life. It was
Yeah.
everything revolved around work and music, which is a form of work, but play.
What
And
instrument did you play, Evan, for our
I
viewers and listeners?
yeah, so I played bass and I sang, and that was my whole world. So when I got married, that whole world shifted.
Yeah.
'Cause I went into a role of husband, and then quickly after we got married, we had a son, and so that was a whole shift for me that I never
Yeah.
experienced. I mean, for everyone, but,
Mm.
my whole world revolved around
Music.
those 2 things, so that was a
Yeah.
shift. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
We do have some really old music on Spotify that it's from when I was, like, 15 to 17. They can
Really?
scope it out there. Yeah.
You gotta tell
So,
us.
it's
I'll
called
put it in the
Post.
comments.
Yeah, yeah, and then you can scope it out if you want, but yeah.
What's what's it called?
It's called Postcards Home. So,
Postcards Home. Okay.
yeah, and we were just like a kind of a punk rock band from the 2000s, and
Love
it was
it.
just fun. Yeah,
Love it. I was doing my workout this morning and I was listening to, in Australia here, we have Triple J's Hottest 100,
okay.
which is like a radio station, and people would vote for their top 100 of the year. And it was a really, really big thing. It used to come out on Australia Day, which was yesterday. And everyone would get together and it'd just be the most incredible day for a lot of Australians who love that kind of music. And I was listening to 1998. So, that's got your Blink 182, your
Mhm.
Grinspoon, all of your sort of punk rock bands. And yeah, just music's just not the same these days, is it? It's just not. It really isn't.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
just,
it's formulaic,
yeah, yeah. It's like hairdressing is an art, right? Well,
right.
music is an art as well. You've got the composition, you've got you've got your different formulas with hairdressing, and with music, you've got your drums, your bass, your guitar, your singer, and you put it all together, and it's that beautiful composition, right? Which is like, with your hairdressing, it's that beautiful result that you get. But these days, when it's just formulated on the computer, or it's just rehashed an old song and remixed, it just doesn't feel like art anymore. It doesn't feel like effort has gone into it. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, we could speak to that for a minute, but I read this
Rant
article
over.
about yeah, okay, alright, well, yeah, we'll table that, but it's algorithmic now, I'll say that.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, say what you want. I was just saying
Okay.
my rant is over. But you
Okay,
say,
okay, okay.
yeah.
So I read this article that basically, there's very few producers now, and because everything is, positioned to the algorithm, and we're doing, singles now. So before you would create an album, you would write a CD, you would have the beginning out song would be like the song that just pushes you into the album. You would place a single maybe on number 3 or 4. You would have another couple songs that would kind of be your apex. Then you would have another single. Then you would kind of like these are the songs you were like, okay, we put this on, but to kind of fade you out of the album, right? So now
Mm,
everything is about singles. We don't put much thought into creating a concept. And so
mm,
people are trying to um, actually also algorithmically create a song.
mm,
So so the emotion behind the song, the where somebody, maybe Nirvana, uh, Blink 182 early days and maybe still now, but I know they work with
mm,
producers now. They were it was the raw emotion of I'm just putting this out, and for any who cares about receiving it, we're
yeah.
way more worried about that. And so
Mm,
in effort to make it so refined, we've lost some of the personality
mm,
is
100%.
what's happening, and we're having
Mm,
uh producers are more writing the music for people than ever, and which is great. But yeah, it's taking a lot of the personality or the emotion out of the music. Yeah,
100%. I mean, you listen
yeah,
to Offspring or Rage Against the Machine or,
Right.
even Pearl Jam, all of those kinds of and you can feel the emotion. Like you just,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a bit sad really. But
Yeah,
hopefully
and
we can get back to basics, like I'm hoping with hairdressing that we can do that as well, because it's kind of indicative what's happening in the hairdressing industry on social media, don't you think? It's all
yeah, yeah,
quick, fast, and you're not seeing the skills, and you're not seeing the hard work that actually goes into it. You just kind of see these really quick snippets and then the results, and it's like, I want to see that art that has gone, that craftsmanship that has gone into it. And yeah, there's a lot of people who are feeling that way. And I don't think it's just hairdressing. I think it's music. I think it's TV shows, everything. People are just starting to get restless, and they want to see that art again. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
yeah. So I feel like going back to like, I don't know, like an effort to make a single, right? Or make a hit.
Mm,
We
mm,
were so focused on success
mm,
that we don't want to be vulnerable. I know speaking personally,
mm,
when I look through my lens of the hair, like social media through hairdressing,
mm,
I might want to edit something or do something in effort to not have somebody see my mistake or my vulnerability, because you don't want that judgment, or you
mm,
want to come off um, as perfect, or you want to come off as an expert. And so I think this is my personal opinion, but I feel like
mm,
it's easier to recycle um, a TikTok trend
mm,
than to show yourself doing a technique or a video that is really going to put yourself out there for
mm.
someone to ridicule, but equally for someone to celebrate, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So someone could be celebrating you, but there's just that little piece of, well, but what if someone ridicules me?
Yeah.
And so
It's
we hold
interesting.
back. So we hold
Yeah.
back. That's me personally, you
Mm,
know, and I'm trying to push through that.
mm. No, you said that so, so well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's really interesting, isn't it? Because it's vulnerability, but people are putting their face out there. They're talking to the camera, or they're doing something funny to try and get people to laugh or whatever it is. But that's not being vulnerable. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah,
But people think that's being vulnerable because, look, I'm putting myself out there. But it's like, are you? Are you really showing us who you are? Or are you just trying to get those likes and engagement? So,
yeah.
whereas your videos, particularly, you're, hi everybody. Evan is our ambassador for Foil Me. I didn't introduce you as our ambassador,
I,
but you are a
perfect.
person. um, but your videos are authentic. It's like, using a board as a skate as a skateboard, or doing the meditation. It's not like you're not being you, because that is you. So it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so I work with, yes, I work with you and I work with Foil Me, and I work with these amazing ambassadors. And I think we've had this conversation in the beginning.
Yeah.
I would see their work, and it's it's so incredible. And
Mm,
it's just not um what I do authentically. Like they do these angles and these shots. And so I agonized for a minute about how do I create that content. And I
mm,
really appreciate that you were amazing and able and said, just do what you want to do. And so a little insight on, so some of those things we just do one or two takes, and we do them in the salon. And
yeah.
it's kind of funny now because there's clients, and it's now the
I love
stylists,
it.
the stylists are so jaded to it that it's really funny that the clients will look around and be like, "What is happening?" We'll turn the music off sometimes. We're like, "Everybody be quiet. We're gonna do this." And people are like, "What is happening right now?" And it's just become part of what we do.
I love
But
that.
in the video I just posted, to give you a little insight,
Mm,
there was a foil that we pulled to see if it was ready, and
yeah.
then we folded it, and it's not perfect. And
Right.
I did not want to. I tried to cut that out
Yeah.
because I
Okay.
thought this thing is sticking out. I do not I do n like, that is the only thing I was focusing on, and I was
Yeah.
trying to cut it out, and we just didn't get the shot long enough to cut it out, and I thought, "You know what? It doesn't really matter."
No, it doesn't. People wanna
It
see
doesn't
that.
matter, and then we
It's
just
real.
and then we
Yeah.
just put it and then I just put it out because
Yeah.
I thought,
Good.
I can't work around this," and for anybody that looks at that one foil and says, "Man, he really sucks."
Why? Because it's
I just
sticking
thought,
out?
yeah,
No.
I thought,
No.
"You know what? It's okay. I'm just
It's
gonna put it out anyways," and maybe people will look at that and say, "God, that one foil," and maybe they'll watch it again. I don't know. So,
Well, they will now because 'cause they'll be listening. They're like, "Right, I better go and have a look at that."
yeah, I just thought, "It's whatever. I can't." It was we were really hairdressing, and we were checking the foil to see if it was ready, and it was not ready yet, so we
Yeah.
didn't fold it. I didn't we didn't fold it perfect, and that is real life,
It
and we just
is.
rolled with it. Yeah,
It
we just rolled with
is. I mean,
yeah,
when you're doing foils and you're not being filmed, how do they look?
like that.
Well, there you
Yeah,
go. So just do
yeah,
that. That's
yeah,
that's real, and it's
and I
inspiring.
thank you, and
Mm.
I never learned to fold with a Telcom,
Okay.
and so when we're, and it would just take me so much longer to film it
No,
and do it
show
with a
show
Telcom.
us that. I wanna
I
see a video of you filming without a tail comb, please.
you'll no, you it's I've posted it, and my big hands are just
Okay.
folding it with my hands, and
Love
I
it.
just think, "People are gonna hate this, but this is how I foil."
Right, I'm gonna
I'm
have
gonna
to have
fold it with my hands. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
So,
have a look at this video now
yeah,
because when did
that's
you bring it out? Because it's been a public, holiday this weekend, so
well, I
I
don't know
haven't looked at social
if
media.
I don't know if you've seen me in this video, it wasn't filmed with me folding foil, but there's been other videos where I've filmed foiling and folding the foils, and I'll just take my hands and fold them. And I know
Okay.
people hate it. They hate it so much, but that's just how I am. I've had people ask me in a class, I've had people be like, "I just can't do that." And it would just make me slower, and I'm already slow.
So it's not the So Serene, that's your last
Yeah,
one.
so the So Serene has a random foil at the bottom that's sticking out because we refolded it, but there's other
Oh my
videos that I've
god, I
posted.
didn't even see that, Evan. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's the So
I c
Serene one,
I
but
can see it, yeah.
there's been others that I've like, "Do I post this? Do I not post
Yeah,
this?" But I'm like, I just am not gonna do it for the video. I'm not gonna fold it with my Telcom just because
I love it.
that's not what I do
Mm,
behind the chair.
mm,
I'm sure I could learn it. I know I could learn it, and I'm sure it
mm.
would look better, but I've been doing this for almost 15 years, and it's just what I do, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Yeah.
And I love that. We need more leaders like you for the younger stylists, hairdressers to look up to that this is life. This is real. This is how I actually foil hair. I don't foil that, with a tail comb like everybody else. And that's okay to embrace
Yeah,
the different ways that you do things. And I think, that's even more inspiring than showing a perfect, little parcels. I mean, of course, the perfect little parcels look gorgeous, but
amazing. Yeah,
if it's not you, then it's not you. So
yeah,
thanks for
mhm,
sharing that. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So with 5 kids, there must be some pretty funny, unforgettable moments. Do you have any that really stand out for you?
I feel like there so many, but
Yeah.
I mean, and then none at all, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
live in because this is just my world, but I would
Yeah.
say one just so my oldest daughter, I'm left-handed, she's left-handed, so we have this little bond, and,
My son's
she
left-handed, my youngest. Yeah.
perfect, yeah,
Yeah.
and and to speak to that too, like, when I was in hair school, I to everybody's best efforts, like, it there's a certain level of awkwardness, and people say they don't know how to teach you. It's something that I've had to experience my whole life, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I've kind of had to figure out how to do things my own way because I feel
Mhm.
like when I say I'm left-handed, people are like, "Oh, man, I don't know how to teach you." And so,
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah, so, like when I had to learn how to do a bob or different things. But I've had some really great mentors that have stepped in and taught me, but I have had some people do that. So, actually, my eye, surgeon is left-handed, and he said the same thing. I said, "Are you
Yeah.
left-handed?" He said, "Yeah, they don't know how to teach us, huh?" So,
Yeah.
I've been trying to show my daughter actually wants to do hair, and I've been showing her how to cut, and she had a mannequin, she was cutting some curtain bangs. She watched a TikTok video one time, she's 11,
Okay. Yeah.
and so she did some curtain bangs, or a fringe, and um showed her how I would do it, and my wife and I went to lunch, and, we got a FaceTime,
Uh-oh.
and my 7-year-old
Yeah.
who got these really chic '70s curtain bangs that were a little shorter than she wanted, but my 11-year-old decided to take it into her own hands and give her some bangs.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And it actually looked really good because you just said
And
really chic and a bit
yeah,
short, but yeah, wow.
yeah, they were beautiful, and I went in and
Oh,
refined them a little bit. We laughed, and she felt a little embarrassed at first, and we thought, "No, it's they're so good."
yeah.
It was actually so incredible, and then I went and, yeah, refined them, and she loves Sabrina Carpenter, so she's got these Sabrina Carpenter, bangs and
Yeah.
style that we've got going on with her, but that's one, it's never a dull moment, like, honestly.
I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, in our house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I have to get some tips from your wife on how to be nurturing for
Well,
for teenage boys. It's yeah, it's been hard for me, I think, as a mum. Well, not I think, I know, because my mum left us when I was 8, so I didn't really have someone around to have that kind of role model, of nurturing. And my stepmom, who's a beautiful woman, didn't have children of her own. So she didn't really know how to nurture as well. So, a wonderful woman, and has instilled a lot of beautiful values in me. But I've kind of had to just do what I think is right at the time with the resources I have, I guess. Yeah. I
yeah,
don't know if that makes sense. I,
yeah,
I
I can relate.
yeah, I am a warm person though, so I do like to, touch my 16-year-old shoulder occasionally, or give him a hug if I haven't seen him for a while, and that kind of stuff. So I'm learning, I guess, on how to be the kind of mother that I am, but I think I'm a better one than my actual mother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
that's all.
winning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm,
think that's all you can do, right? Is just
mm,
try to be better, and
mm,
yeah, I totally get that, so,
mm.
yeah. My mom was great mother, I think that, we had fun, and we had, we had some rigidness, and not to just because I think having 6 kids and trying to have structure, and because
Yeah.
there were some health issues in our family, but we're very eccentric, like, our family is very like, all the kids are fun and eccentric, but, there was that level of discipline and structure and all of that, and my wife's family having 8 children,
Mm.
there was a little bit more of a looseness to
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
um, and so, that was really, really difficult for me
Okay.
to s when we our parenting styles, even until the last couple I honestly, till recently, our parenting styles were so different.
Mm.
Um, I was very much, I believe, more in, like, rules and structure and discipline, and I struggled with, some of the a little bit of resentment
Mhm.
when those things weren't followed,
Yeah.
and not, and even in, I don't wanna maybe a little bit of resentment even in the salon, does that make sense? Because I
Yeah.
would feel like, "Hey, this is a mutual respect, a reciprocity of, these are the things that it was like this, I created this culture without defining a culture,
Yeah.
and thought you should do this, and when those things weren't, reciprocated, I struggled with that, and then I would bring that energy to the home, forgetting that these were children, you know?
Yeah. 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 It's
And so
easily done. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually I've been doing a lot of, work lately for personal work, and those are
Mm.
conversations that come up with my wife where she was like, "Oh, you forget, you're holding these, like, you're holding these judgments, not realizing that these are children
Yeah.
and really need to like soften some of these things and give
Yeah.
them the opportunity to grow. So she's a really amazing person to sit with and
Mm.
talk to and grow with and try to let go of some of those things. Yeah.
Mm. No,
Yeah.
I understand that because, yeah, I grew up in a pretty strict sort of household as well. And um, being a teacher, a high school teacher, kids need discipline, they need structure, especially in the classroom. And I would bring that into my parenting, obviously, whereas Illy, he he was a lot softer, and
Mm.
he liked doing bribes. So it's like, if you could do this, I'll give you this kind of thing. And I was like, oh, no, 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 bribes are no, we can't do bribes. But then I sort of softened a bit and allowed that to happen. And I think with us both not being on the same page, there was a little bit of um, I guess parenting that wasn't great there for a while,
Sure.
but now we're very much on the same page, and feels good, doesn't it, when you're both and you're learning from each other as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the journey we're on right now. And
mm,
really, I think for me, I've had to, I don't know what the right word is. Like compromise doesn't feel like the right word. It's like I see my partner now and
mm,
really just acknowledge like it was like a little bit of humbling
mm,
and like letting go of some of that ego and saying, I didn't grow up this way and that feels uncomfortable. And not
mm-hmm,
saying the way I grew up was wrong, but and then being able to say like, let's be open to like these things are working for you. And really just trying to do it a different way and seeing and
mm,
then us and then her, it's like less my way is better than your way. And then once
yeah,
you drop that, you're like, oh, we could actually come together
mm.
and create this like new way of doing something, you know?
and and I bet you can't help her, but I bet that has flowed through into your work as well, and the way that you are with your team.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, absolutely. And my background is more rigid, even though I come off, especially through my videos, very like carefree and silly, and I am like that.
mm,
But
yeah.
I'm very logical, and I'm very like I actually welcome and enjoy structure. There's the predictability in my flow gives me comfort. And so when those things would get thrown off, that was really, really difficult for me.
Mm. Yeah, I bet.
Mhm.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I mean, looking back on your journey, Evan,
Mm.
you're still in your process at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're very open about mental health issues, which I'm sure has helped a lot of people, and being vulnerable. What do you feel like sharing? Like what feels okay for you to share in regards to your
Yeah.
mental health? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good to I can share whatever you want. So
Yeah.
I've talked to my like my wife about it and I can yeah, I'm pretty open. So I can tell you whatever you want to know.
Well, I don't really know what I want to know. I guess it's more by you sharing. I know it will help a lot of people
Yeah.
listening and watching. I guess when did it first sort of rear its ugly head, do you think, when you sort of realized, oh, hang on, there's something not quite right here?
Yeah. So I've struggled most my life looking back with mental health. In high school, I don't know if I would call it a panic attack or like kind of like an actual breakdown, but I remember it was either I would have these moments where I would break down and just say, like, "I can't do this." Like, I, like, don't know if I can keep doing, like, school or just everything felt really heavy, but then it would get like, as heavy as it was, that balance would be counteract with, like, the rush of, like, being in punk rock and being able to do whatever I want. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I
Yeah.
had this, like, ability to move through it,
Mm.
but then when I got married, and not saying that marriage was the catalyst, but when I was able to I thought there was leading up to being married, I struggled with relationships and feeling valued. And then I met my wife, and she was just this breath of fresh air. Helped me feel seen. Like I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. And we ended up getting married, and it was really, really great for like a long time. And
Mm,
I felt like she filled uh, that void for me.
mm,
And and I thought like, oh, if I get married, and then if I have kids, and all these things were being filled. And I think after a while, the reality, the weight of being a provider set in. Like,
mhm,
so in the beginning, it was more like it was fun, and I was a bit of a dreamer. I didn't worry about some of the things, and to my maybe a little bit of my I don't know what the right word is. I want to use detriment, but I don't know if that's the right word. But we did accrue some debt. We did some. Hey, we pushed off some of that reality, and and then life kind of set in, right? And to my wife is this incredible dreamer, and she's an optimist. And so even with some of the things with going to hair school and doing all those things, she was my biggest supporter. And then we just kind of pushed some things off, and uh and then the reality set in. I assisted for a year in Salt Lake City, and then we moved 4 hours south to be close to her family. And building again, rebuilding my clientele was a struggle for me. So I went to college as well, and was getting a communication degree, accrued a bunch of debt like that. And really, my boys were young, and I just started becoming unsettled of
mhm.
just not being sure what to do.
Yeah.
And also, as a hairdresser, my biggest fear in life in general is disappointing people. So
Okay.
I sat with when
Where
you're
do
young.
you think that comes from?
Um, I feel like now I know that that's from when I was young, and not from discrediting my parents or anything. I just felt like I placed value in success, and value in doing things correct, and value in um, being a being being a perfectionist, that I
Yeah.
just didn't want to let people down.
Mm,
And so, like, uh, when I performed songs well, when I did well, that's when I really felt good about myself. And so, um, I didn't want to disappoint people. And because dressing is a craft,
mm,
uh, I wasn't that good in the beginning.
mhm.
Uh, and it didn't sit well with me.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I tried other avenues, and I went to college, and I actually was really good at college. And I actually was going to go into education. I dropped out of a master's to go back into. I started studying rhetoric, um, and uh, and I got into rhetorical analysis. And to side table that, I dropped out of a master's to go back into full full force into hairdressing. So,
Right.
um, but so I struggled with that mental health, and I got on antidepressants. I met with a therapist who told me I have um, uh, biological depression or whatever, and said I'm never going to get off antidepressants. And I
Wow.
felt very, very broken at that
Mhm.
time. And I remember um, him telling me this is just how you're going to have to be. And I felt and nothing, he was trying his best. I got very, very tired and very, very numb.
Yeah.
And I was very distant
Mm.
after a few years of our marriage. I would work, and then I would just want to sleep all the time. Like, I was
Yeah.
just so tired. I would get home, it would be 7 o'clock. My wife would say, "Could you just stay up till 9 and go to bed?" And I would just say, "I just have to take a nap. Like, I'm so
Mm.
tired."
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I was on antidepressants for 8 years, and I really did think I was never going to get off of them. And then in 2018, my eye, I got a cold sore in my eye and I went legally blind in my right eye.
Oh, no.
And, it was some freak thing that they don't know why it happened.
Mm,
I think it's like HSV or H, whatever it is.
mm,
And the doctors thought that I was going to go blind,
mm,
fully blind. And I just had a complete meltdown. I just, I thought, this is I don't know how I'm gonna provide. Uh, it was 1 year into my salon, and, yeah, to my assistant's credit, they would kinda step back and watch me cut and watch me do things, and I would get really, really close to my client's head, and, uh, and I was able to work through it, but I
mm,
basically, um, I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I started having this, extreme mental illness more than I've ever had.
mhm,
And I started having these panic attacks and having all these issues. And my mother-in-law is a reflexologist, so she does these like foot zoning things.
mhm.
And she said, "There's this woman. She does energy work. She could probably help you." And to be honest, I was like, I don't care about this, but like whatever, I'll
Mm,
try anything. And then a friend, a mentor came into my life who was in a band that was really successful that was doing uh like somatic healing and psilocybin and
okay.
uh and so I was like, honestly, so I was like, I'm willing to do anything. and
Yeah.
uh and so I started this journey. I quit my I transferred from I was on Prozac for 8 years, and my doctor recommended that I switch to a drug called Wellbutrin that was, because he said, "You're literally on, like, a tranquilizer dose." Like, I was just so tired. So, to his, like,
Is this the
trying
same
to help.
doctor that said to you, "You'd always be like this"?
No, this is a different one. This was my
Yeah,
general practitioner.
yeah.
Um, him trying to truly help me said, "Let's switch your medication."
Mm.
I moved over to a drug called Wellbutrin. One of the side effects of Wellbutrin is, suicide ideation. And so I switched over to it and
Wow.
I was having, I just wasn't feeling good. I was having, suicide ideation. And so
Mm,
I went cold turkey, which also is really bad for you.
mm,
And I went, started working with with an energy worker who's still an amazing woman in my life. And then a
mm.
somatic, mentor who also did, psilocybin, or which is mushroom therapy.
Yep.
And, I went to do some work with him. And I will honestly say, like, I know it's been really good for some people, but for me, I feel like that experience was necessary, but I wasn't like so ready or aligned. So I think for me, it wasn't the greatest experience for me, but my mentor I know was trying from the best place, and I love him for it because what it did is, so then I thought I had bipolar from that experience.
Oh.
It put me into this like uh mental tailspin,
Mm,
and I thought that I had bipolar disorder. And through that, I ended up leading me to a diagnosis of like autism spectrum disorder, OCD, and anxiety. So
okay.
because I thought that something was, and I I think what you would call it now is, what do they call it now? Sorry, and I don't mean to be offensive in any way. It's
No, no, not at all.
low low needs. I can't remember what they, so high functioning, but you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say low support needs and low support needs.
Okay.
So and some of it is part of my trauma, not to take away from that, because I'm only speaking from my experience. So
Mm,
I also covered that and this is okay, I've never shared this with anyone, but um, that I also had suffered from sexual abuse as a child. So, um, and I'm only speaking to
yeah.
this now because one in, I've heard recently that 1 in 6 males and 1 in 4 females experience this. So
Yeah. Wow.
like to normalize this. I think that doing all of these things, I got a diagnosis and then I started going to EMDR, which is trauma therapy. And I
Mhm.
started meeting with a EMDR is something like eye um, movement, desensitization. I don't know what R means, but it basically when you experience trauma,
Yeah.
your mind loops, and it loops subconsciously. And so when you do this type of therapy, it closes the loop or closes the door to your trauma.
Mhm.
And so I started that process like 4 years ago. I apologize, I'm talking a lot about this, but
No, no, it's fantastic.
okay.
It'll be very, very helpful to people. So you
Yeah. So this is
do what you need to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is just to give people the real because before I thought I was just depressed,
Mhm.
and and
Depression
so
always
because
comes from somewhere, though. It can't just appear from nowhere. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people
yeah,
think that 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 is the case, but when you dig deeper, it's like, oh, okay, so this is
yeah,
what's happening. Yeah.
right. And because I've never shared this before, and this is very sensitive, I do want to say like this was something that wasn't. This is something that was suppressed. This is something that um, was not known to my parents. Like nobody could have sheltered me from this. If that,
Yeah.
I want to be, I want to speak to that because like it's just
Yeah.
something that happened, you know.
Mm.
And but it was so the eye that led to the stuff that led to
Mm.
uncovering this trauma uh led to me um so there's this TV show called Shrinking
Yeah, I love
with
it. Yeah.
okay, and
Yeah.
it's made me cry a lot
Oh,
because
I
I
bet.
really resonate with Jason Segel or Segel's character
Yeah.
because he experienced a lot of deep trauma
Mm.
and he didn't show up in his best self
Mhm.
in the beginning. And
Mm.
I have to say, I didn't show up my best self with this information.
Mm.
I uncovered this like 4 years ago. And instead of, and I can't say what I would have done different because this was my journey, but I would have liked to say that I moved through it quickly and that I was my best self, but it actually led me uh, to substance abuse and led me to because
Mhm.
I because I jumped off of my um, depression medication. I found other ways to medicate,
Yeah.
and because because of my genetics, it just took a hold of me,
Mm.
and this is something that I've never spoke to, and I hid for a really long time, and it caused an immense amount of self-hatred and shame and guilt for me because I was trying to numb the pain. And so I didn't move through the grieving or the healing because I was numb. And
Yeah.
so I didn't show up the best way I could over this last 4 years. And in the last 2 years, once I obtained a medical card, I was not well. Like I just was very, very immersed in self-medicating.
Yeah.
And and I thought I was taking care of me,
Mm.
and I thought that I was justified, but a lot of anger was coming out in
Mm.
ways that it shouldn't have. And and I was isolating. So I didn't want to show up on socials. I didn't want to show up for people. Like I just wanted to withdraw inside. Like
Mhm.
and so I would go to work, I would put on my best face, I would hide through staying there. And I was distracted and I loved it and I did well, but then I had to be real. And when I got home, I'm gonna be honest, like I wasn't my best self. Like I just withdrew and I didn't know how.
Mm,
And I have an amazing woman and wife who spoke to that
mhm,
and told me like it was time.
mm,
And I had two incredible mentors come into my life. And this was only in August, and I am 5 months sober right now. And
congratulations.
I thank you. And these two men, one was somebody who I admired from afar for a really long time, just came in
Mhm,
and really worked with me intensely for a few weeks. And now we have uh, I don't want to say a distant relationship, but a relationship where I just check in with him from time to time. And another one who I was a hairdresser, but did his own journey and was doing men's work for 5 years, who
mm,
kept coming in and I just kept pushing him away and he just kept coming in, who
mm,
worked with me intensely for the last 3 months, uh, pretty much daily, who worked through. And I was attending meetings, which was a sort of an AA weekly. And I had to cut out caffeinated sodas. I had to change my diet. I had to change my whole life.
yeah,
You know, and now I can say that I'm clearer and better than I've ever been. And the trauma didn't go away,
mm,
but I feel like it's feels more like that I can close the chapter to that now
mm,
and that I can show up better. So where I said, I don't know, an hour ago, I had to get really humble too. And I had to say, like, what do I need to do for my wife? You
mm,
know, how
mm,
do I show up? And I had to get really humble. Not everybody, and if you choose to air this piece, most people will not know this piece of my life. And most of my stylists don't know this piece,
okay,
but the people close to me know this. And my assistants had to carry me through this for years. And my wife had to endure this for years. And
yeah,
my parents and my family, that I feel okay to share this now. And it's because I hope this helps like people that are struggling and spec- not specifically men, but I think for men that like don't want to share this,
yeah,
like I hope that it helps people and just people in general. Like life is really hard, you know?
yeah,
And so I had enough people, we would call it in our group calling you in, not calling you out.
I love that, calling you in. Yeah,
So yeah, I had enough people call me in and sit with me and hold space for me because part of your if you have been experienced abuse and so many books that I've listened to is you have this abandonment piece
okay,
is what sits with you. And I think where I my biggest fear was that if I get angry, if I show vulnerability, if I make mistakes, then people will leave me.
mhm,
And so now I'm learning to sit in that uncertainty
mhm,
and sit in that peace to uh, show that that isn't true,
mm,
I guess.
yeah,
That the people that want to stay will stay, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So,
learning to sit in that vulnerability and that it's okay to do that. So,
yeah,
yeah, it's amazing.
thank you.
The journey that you've been on.
Yeah,
And I'm in Australia, you're in the US. Um, and I know that, we've known each other for a long time now, since 2017, I think it
yeah,
was. Yeah. Um, and for you to have gone through all of that and still show up is just, you're an incredible man, Evan. And I think, you really need to sit with that and know that
thank you.
it, yeah. And what you've just shared is incredibly vulnerable, and will help a lot of people. I understand though, if you know, want to have some time to think about it, I don't have to air that if you don't want to, but
I think,
yeah,
yeah, I think we're good.
yeah,
So,
okay,
I mean, it helps.
yeah,
And my wife knows that, like, she's been my biggest piece, and she knows who I am.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know, so, yeah. But like, so much love for her
mm,
and the people, and like you guys have been, even though, I never really shared that piece with you, I always felt love and support from you and your husband as a brand. And there's been a lot of people in my life, and I share this because, and I don't know if it's okay, I'm gonna share this part too, is,
mhm.
I actually almost did commit suicide like a year ago.
Oh,
And
Evan.
I don't share that to uh I was just so unaligned
Mhm,
with myself, from the outside in, this family and the salon and you
mm,
know, all these things, but I was in so much pain
yeah,
and I just didn't I no judgment for what everybody's journey, does that make sense? But
yeah,
like I was just in so much pain, and I wanted to be better on my own timeline as well. I think that was the hard part of it.
yeah,
And I was just that I just didn't see the value of me, you know? And so I just like for those people in my life at that time that I was able to lean on and able to like pull me through, and then the people that like called me in even recently and be like,
mm,
okay, you moved through that, but now you're still like you're still and I'm still not there, you know?
yeah,
But
it, yeah,
I'm trying to show up more, like, and people to be patient with me and people to just still be there for me has been honestly more than they know,
mm,
you know,
mm,
and really carried me through.
mm.
Yeah,
It truly is an incredible story, and it's a good reminder for us who, say humans are shit and everything's shit and the world is shit. But when you have people like you who, tell your story, the journey that you've been through, and the fact that you have people around you who have called you in, it's not shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You've got
yeah,
that there are beautiful people out there. You just have to be open to them. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm. Oh, thank you so much.
of course.
How are you feeling?
Good.
Feel good?
Yeah, yeah,
That's good.
oh,
That's good.
yeah.
All right. Well, do you, do you,
On that note,
yeah. Do you want to have another question, or shall we finish it there? I mean,
whatever you want to do.
what do you hope your kids learn from watching your career, your family life? And are you okay with possibly your eldest listening to this?
I know, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
because he is on socials.
mm,
Um, I haven't shared this whole piece with him, and
mm,
I realized that in the wake of this, there is some damage.
mm. Yeah.
And so I feel really, really sad about that, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
And I'm working on being a better person.
Mhm.
And like, I want my kids to know I love them. I want to sit with them more.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I want them to know they're enough, you know, and, you know, and, I think it's this experience for me has shifted a lot for me
Mhm.
in, in, the moments where, and I still get bothered and I still have my triggers and
Mhm.
things like that. But it really made me think like, what type of man do I want to be? You know, and from some of this men's work I've done is, a man who's kind, a man who nurtures, a man who uh, shows up, a man who holds space, you know, a
Mm.
man who's, um, what's the right word for that? I don't want to say balanced, regulated, you know,
Yeah.
but also somebody who can show anger, but but be tempered,
Yeah.
uh, who shows up for his family, who leads from, not from a place of ego or from a place of, hierarchy, but from a place of, bringing up the rear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I want my kids to see that, and I've been trying to, uh, emulate that in my work as well,
Mhm.
you know?
Mm.
It not from the place of, I'm the owner,
Mhm.
but from a place of, and I've always felt this way, where I have this incredible opportunity to co-create with some of the most talented people that I've ever been able to witness, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also in our family, my children, I've been able to witness, um, their individuality and
Yeah.
sometimes I have to show up as a dad and do some hard things and sit with that,
Mhm.
but I
Yeah.
hope in the end they find their way back and they know that, not find the that's not even the right word, that they know that, it's like, uh, those that's equally as hard for me, you know?
Yeah. That it's a process and you go through stages and
Yeah,
it's not too late.
yeah. So, and that's the thing is I'm 39. I'm only hopefully halfway through my life, you
Mm.
know?
Mm.
I've got time, and I think I can say this, but I'm going to anyways. To my wife's credit, she
Mm.
would say she would see glimpses of me because she knew I was lost,
Yeah.
but there would be glimpses of me that would pull us through. And I hold on to the fact that, there's enough of that. Even with me
Mm.
carrying all that pain and all of the stuff that, you know, I want to have say that I sheltered my kids through it, but I don't know. And my one of my mentors said to me, "There'll be a time in your life, and maybe this is one of those times through this podcast." But he said, "There will be the time in your life where you will account to your kids." And he's I will never be able to own the part of me that said I wanted to take that action and hit sobriety. Like, that wasn't my choice, to be
Mm.
honest.
Yeah.
I can't, but I get to own the part of me that says, like, what I did with that. And I get to own the part of the type of man that I'm going to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I account to my boys, when I account to my daughters, I get to say, and this is the type of person that I chose to be on the other side, like as I worked through it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm striving to do in all aspects of my life right now, you know.
Yeah. I think you've
So
been an incredible role model. Part of being a parent isn't being perfect. It's showing them that this is life, and sometimes life throws some real awful curveballs at you.
Yeah.
But it's how you respond to that is what matters, because you can't
Yeah.
help what happens to you. You can't help that. But it's how you work through it, how you respond to it. That is the real inspiring thing, and that's what your kids are going to see. So
Yeah.
in a way, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So speaking of your family, I have taken you away from them, and I'm sure you're you're hungry. You're wanting to have dinner. But I just want to say thank you. You know, um, for everything that you've shared, and also who you are, Evan. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so not to continue on, but to say one last, like,
Mm.
one thing that I've, like, a common theme, and I don't think many people catch this for me,
Hmm.
but one of my dear friends started this brand, Imperfects.
Oh yeah.
Um,
We'll give a shout out.
like, thank you. And not to, but he,
No, it's good. Well, I'll put the web address and everything for
yeah,
Imperfects on here. Yeah.
yeah, and he started it around, I don't know exactly, but I met him around 2008, 17, 18, and we become dear friends. And his whole thing is the human experience in
Mm.
Perfects.
Mm.
And I have hats and I have stuff, and for me it's always resonated with me. And just, there's a few people in my life that are like amazing humans, and you, including, your family is one of them. But you know I'm not necessarily an ambassador for them, but but there's I've chose to align myself with brands that like resonate with me, and that I
Mm.
feel like we're in the same pot together, if that makes sense. And so
Mm.
I feel so much gratitude to be a part of Foil Me, like, because I've always felt that, like, I've always felt like family.
Mm.
There's so many, like, there are so many people that have a higher follower count, but you guys have always been so good to me. And there have been times where I know that we could have, um, I don't know what the right word is, but ended that, with me withdrawing. But you've always been so good to reach out and touch base. And so I've always felt safe to be able to share with you. And so to celebrate you, and credit to you and your husband, like, um, you know, I've always felt like more than just a foil. uh, it's felt like family. And and it's made it very easy to have a relationship with you. So thank you for inviting me on, and that's also why I felt comfortable to share this with you.
Mhm.
um, and and because you have been so authentic and have been so much like family to me, so thank you.
Thank you, Evan. We're extremely grateful to have you a part of our life, and as a part of Foil Me as well. So the feeling is completely mutual, and I'm hoping one day we can come to America and meet you in person. And oh my God, that hug that I'm going to give you.
Mm.
um, your wife will have to probably tear me off of you.
Be great. Be great.
Yeah, it'd be great to meet your kids and your wife as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Well, thank you.
thank you. Okay, guys. So uh, you've been listening to the Dressing Gown CEO, where we are real, authentic. This is life, where we discuss all sorts of things that life is, not just work, not just family, but everything in between. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And please, if you are enjoying this show, leave a review, comments, and make sure you give Evan and his salon a follow. So, Evan, would you like to share your handles with us?
Sure. So My Instagram is just at Evan Stowers, and then my salon is just the Desert Lounge Salon. So it's at the Desert Lounge Salon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. And I'll
Okay.
put that up on the screen as well so we can
Thank
all
you.
see. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is the Dressing Gown CEO. Thanks, Evan.
Thanks, Em. Mhm.
Thank you for tuning in to the Dressing Gown CEO. We truly appreciate you taking the time to listen, and I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you're new here, the Dressing Gown CEO is where business and life collide, raw, unpolished, and full of lessons from our journey as entrepreneurs, parents, and partners in life and business. We love sharing our stories and those of our amazing guests to help you find inspiration, motivation, and information. So I'm going to ask you a favour, and I promise that you'll get the benefit from it. I'd just be so grateful if you left us a review. It helps us reach more people just like you, and it makes the show better and better because feedback is what helps us thrive and improve. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We've got so much more to share, and I can't wait to grow this beautiful community of people like you. So thank you again for listening to the Dressing Gown CEO. It's real, it's raw, it's the Dressing Gown CEO.